Welcome back to the Integrated Self Podcast, where I teach you how to navigate your healing and expansion in mindset, energy, spirit, health, and life. I'm your host, Arianna Sidway, a board-certified holistic health coach and spiritual guide whose mission is to help you awaken to your inner power so you can free yourself from the past to create your future. Without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. Hello. That's how my grandmother always used to answer the door. But I just want to make sure this microphone is working. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the pod. How's everyone doing? I had such a great week. I was actually off. For those that don't know, I feel like I just have so many random facts about me, but I am actually a homeschool teacher on top of everything else that I'm doing right now. So I actually homeschool 4th grade, and it's going great. Might be my last year doing it. But I feel like I learned so much, like, especially in homeschooling, you can teach whatever you want to teach. So for example, like in the beginning of the year, we did North American birds. And so like now all the birds that live in North America, I can like point out. And it's so funny because I never really used to care about those things until I really started actually connecting with nature and with certain kinds of birds. Like I always get these messages when I see hawks or eagles. And so it's so funny now that I get to like hang out in my backyard and see a robin and be like, oh, that's a robin, or that's a mourning dove, and that's a black-capped chickadee, you know? I'm a woman of many talents. But anyway, this week I was actually off from homeschooling a little bit. And so I got to catch up on life and dive into my passions and take care of myself, go to the gym more. And I just had such a great week. So I hope you guys did as well. This episode, I really want to talk about gratitude and how gratitude literally changes lives. Changed mine. It's changed my clients' lives. And I'm going to get into that today. And I'm actually kind of digging these. I feel like digging is such a word like that we used to say when we were in middle school. Like, I dig that. But I've really been vibing with these 30-minute quick mini episodes. So I don't want to say that like and commit to 30 minutes, but I really feel like that's such a good amount of time. It's a good amount of time for you, for me, you know. So who knows how long this episode's going to be, but I'm excited to get into it. So I think when we all hear gratitude, right, we're like, oh yeah, we're just grateful. No crap. You know, and it's kind of like, what's the point of this? I don't understand how this quick little thing, or me doing this in the beginning of my day, at the end of my day, or just pointing things out in my life, how that's supposed to change anything for me. But I want to let you know that if you change your thoughts, you can change everything. And I know in the beginning, when someone said that to me, my first coach, I was like, stop. I hate that. I hate hearing that. And it's funny because here I am now, a coach telling my clients that. And it's so freaking true, because when you change your thoughts, you're now operating from a completely different mindset, right? So just a quick little vague example is like, if you were always taught that money doesn't grow on trees and, you know, all these things, you have a mindset that is saying that money is restricted. Money is limited. It's limited for me. And so now if you're holding that mindset, and now as an adult, you now think that money doesn't grow on trees and that there's not enough to go around, you're going to probably save a lot of money. You're going to question, is this worth to spend my money on? You know, you're going to probably be an extreme saver and a hoarder of money, or you might have trouble spending it, right? And so because you're thinking, oh, I only have X amount of money available to me at all times, and I need to kind of budget myself and all these things. But if we just realize that everything is energy, right? Including money doesn't have to be put on this huge high pedestal that is above everything else. Money is just a form of abundance, just like peace, just like clarity is, just like grace, just like anything else that's intangible. Money just happens to be tangible and happens to be kind of the foundation of living. So we put such a huge emphasis and huge weight on money itself. But Everything is energy, including money. And so once I was able to, again, flip my thoughts, right? Flipping my thoughts from, money grows on trees, or money doesn't grow on trees, like there's not enough to go around, and X amount of money is a lot of money compared to this amount, right? So it's kind of like, if we see money as something that's scarce and limited, we're going to have a lack mindset when it comes to those things, and it's going to dictate how we move forward. It's going to dictate our choices and our actions regarding money. And so when I was able to open my mind to different amounts of money and follow people and put my energy into the idea and slowly changing my mindset around money, thinking that money is just energy, money comes and goes. Money actually flows. If you treat money like, I love you, money, I'm grateful for you, money, money loves me, I attract money everywhere I go, right? I spend money because I love to give it out. That's a different relationship. You're going to make different choices. And so, for example, I'll give you a quick little example right now where I held off getting my nails done. How much is getting your nails done? Maybe you don't know. Probably like $50. Differs from place to place. But normally it costs me about $50. And I was saving my money. I was like, I have $50. I always have $50, but I don't want to spend it on my nails, right? And I was, for some reason, thinking I need to make more money in order to get my nails done, right? So it's kind of like whatever we think, the universe just confirms, right? By the law, I think it's the law of action, where the universe, by law, has to respond to you. And so if I'm here saying I don't have enough money to get my nails done, the universe is just going to confirm that to me. I flipped the script for myself when I said, money is energy. Money comes and goes. I'll make another $50. $50 can find its way to me. I am going to spend money on my nails because I love doing my nails. I love the way I feel when my nails are done. I love paying my nail guy because he freaking kills it every time. I love when he sees how much money I tip him, right? There's a whole lot of love in that situation. There's a whole lot of love for money, myself, me saying I deserve to spend my money on these things. And so what did I do? After 4 months of not getting my nails done because I was scared to spend $50, I went and spent $50, was so freaking happy. Took myself on a little date. And then what happened? I actually started making more freaking money. I'm not freaking kidding you guys. Because now my relationship with money is good. I attract money. Money feels safe with me. I'll take care of my money, right? I respect money. Money respects me. I attract money, right? These are all awesome, great affirmations, by the way. Like, everything I'm saying is an affirmation. And so that's what I want to get into today, is flipping your thoughts, changing your mindset, because from our mindset is where we feel things and we take action and have our behaviors and actions from, right? Our thoughts create feelings, which create our behavior. So, right? Like, if I'm thinking that money is scarce, I'm probably going to make certain decisions, which is going to create a different reality for me, right? Whereas if I believe that money is unlimited and that I always have access to it because money is just energy, and as long as I'm taking care of myself and my vibration and I'm putting love out into the universe, of course money's going to fucking find me, right? That's a whole different energy. And so I'm going to make different decisions from that mindset, right? Because it's a different mindset. It's a different thought that I'm having. And so I'm going to make a different decision, which is going to lead to a different reality, a different outcome, right? Because every day we make so many decisions that 2 months from now, my life could look so different, because every decision, every choice I make from now until 2 months from now, I could land myself somewhere completely different than having the mindset of, lack mindset around money, right? Do you see how, something so small like changing your thoughts around a certain topic can ultimately change your behaviors and your decision making in that area, which then creates a different outcome for you, a different reality. All of our outcomes total equal our reality, what we have, what we're experiencing, what we're feeling in our reality, right? Another example, My friend asked us to go to Nashville for her birthday. Of course I want to do that. Of course, at the time, I was like, how much is that going to cost? And like, do I have the funds, right? That's a normal thing that we all think when we're invited to go on a vacation somewhere, right? Now I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, we have 4 months. It's going to cost this much per person. I got to have this money by this time, whatever. Then I started thinking, I always have everything I need when I need it, right? I might not have 50 grand sitting in my savings right now, but I always have money to spend when I need to spend it. When I have to buy groceries, I have money for that. When I buy gas, I have money for that. When I want to get my nails done, I have money for that, right? So it's just, do I have what I need when I need it, right? And then having that faith and that trust in that of I will have everything I need when I need it. So when I started feeling anxiety around this trip, I was like, I will have the money when I need it. So when this trip comes around in June, I'll be good. End of discussion. I choose not to worry about that trip. I know I'll be fine. I know I'll have the money. So I'm not going to sit here in this energy of being anxious about the future when my first feeling when I was invited was excitement, was, oh my fucking God, I would love that. That sounds so fun, right? So I'm just going where my soul's being called. My soul's being called to go. I want to go. So I'm going to freaking go. I'll figure it out. And I always do, right? So just like loosening that grip of control on money or on anything. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be love. It could be, confidence. It could be success. All right. So let's get into the whole gratitude thing. When I first hire a client, nice. When a client hires me, the first thing that I like to introduce if they're not already doing it is gratitude. And it's funny because it's so simple to do, but over time, and it's really the consistency is what makes this so freaking awesome, is it's so easy. It's like you have to do it every day. It takes really no time out of your day. But the more you do it, the better it gets. And then you don't even have to consciously tell yourself, oh, I forgot to do my gratitude, because you're now doing it all freaking day. And because you've changed the way your brain filters information, right? So when you get online or you get on social media and everyone's talking about gratitude and you're like, oh, whatever, they don't know what they're talking about. It's literally an act, a conscious act you do to change the way your brain filters information. The human brain can process 11 million bits of information every second. Think about that. 11 million bits just now. That your brain is literally, my dog's looking at me like, what, mommy? That's how much information our bodies are sensing at all times, right? So even if you're just walking barefoot in your yard, right, your body is very aware of spatially where you're oriented, what the texture of the grass is, the air in your lungs, right? All the bugs flying around you. There is so much information that our body picks up on, 11 million bits per second to be exact. So you're kind of thinking, how does my brain know what to tell me or what to bring to my attention, right? Because if every second, our bodies are taking in 11 million bits of information, what is the thing in our brain that weeds out what's important for us to know, right? Because our actual mind, something that you're conscious of, so let's pretend you're walking barefoot on your grass in your yard, right? You're still, every second, your body's taking in 11 million bits of information. But let's pretend you now have a thought of like, oh, the ground's really cold today. So it's kind of like, what filters this information through to let our conscious mind know what's important? Because our conscious mind can only hold 40 to 50 bits per second. So most of the information that our body is sensing isn't getting to our conscious mind because our body is saying that's not important for them to know. They don't need to know the texture of the grass. They don't need to know, the car down the street, none of that's important. So it's kind of like, how does that part of our brain know what's important or not for us to know? And that part of your brain is called the RAS. It's called the reticular activating system. Okay. So it's basically a bundle of neurons or brain cells located like kind of in the back of your head that basically filters out. It's your brain filter. So it's the part of your brain that kind of says, oh, send this up to them. They need to know that, or, that's not important for them to know. We're not going to make that a conscious thought for them. Okay. And I'm dumbing this down because, it's scientific and it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to explain how this works in lay terms. So you basically have this part in the back of your brain that filters out all that information and tells you what you should know, what's important. It brings to your attention like, hey, you should know this, right? Like if there's a freaking snake nearby your leg, which happened to me this past weekend on Easter, and I hate snakes. I was like, I freaked out. And my brain was like, that's important for you to know because we know you hate snakes. Okay. So it's kind of like we can change this filter out. Just like the maintenance guy comes to our apartment and changes out our air filter, you can change the filter in your brain. You can change it to tell it, hey, we want to see more of that. We want to know when that happens. So it's kind of like you programming your own brain to tell it what you want to know, what you want to see in your reality. So gratitude is a very simple practice, which can be practiced in so many different ways to change this filter. And so basically what happens is a client will start practicing gratitude. And of course, in the beginning, what happens is it's so boring and like mundane. It sounds redundant even like in the beginning that a lot of people don't want to do it because it's like you have to do it consistently for a couple of weeks in order to see in real time your brain shifting. Like to see, oh my gosh, no way. I now I'm seeing this and normally I've been here every day and I never saw that. And now I'm seeing it. That's crazy. That's because your filter is slowly starting to change because you're programming it. So what happens is the beginning, and I'll share with you what I tell my clients to do. I mean, you can Google it. It's everywhere on the internet now. And it's just write down 3 things you're grateful for every day, right? So in the beginning, of course, it's going to be simple things like I'm thankful for my husband, my dog, and my home. The next day, it's I'm thankful for the food in my fridge, that I went on a walk today and that it was 70 degrees, right? The next day, it might be something else. I'm grateful I got to buy plants. I'm grateful for my my mom and my father-in-law or, whoever, right? But like the more you do it, the more you start making it specific. And I don't tell my clients to do this. I just see it happening on their little worksheets that I do with them. So it's like the first week, it's so simple. It's like little things. And then the next week, it's something really specific. And then it's like a feeling. And then it's something so tiny. And then it's like, a manifestation that they consciously manifested for themselves, right? And so what happens is the more you sit down for 5 minutes even and show your brain to point out some things that are great in your life, you're slowly changing your brain and that RAS, that reticular activating system. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for some good-ish in our lives, right? So then, 4 weeks in, I'll be on a client call and they'll be like, I was at Starbucks today and I was so excited. I don't know why. I was just having a great day. And I got up to the window and the barista said, oh my gosh, I love your energy. Like the customer before you was so rude to me and it's so refreshing that I get to have you now. Right. And then they're complimenting you and saying you're a blessing for them and that your energy is so needed and you feel important and special. And it's like, and then you drive away genuinely like, wow, that was so amazing. Right. Like things start to happen for you and you start to you'll be driving around and you'll start to point out, stuff around you in nature, right? And you start to you're literally opening your mind to a new world of possibilities that your mind was not open to earlier. And so the more that you do it, like for example, for me, obviously I'm a coach and I've been doing gratitude for years. I don't sit down every day. There really gets to be a point where you don't have to sit down to do gratitude because now it's just default. Now it's in your subconscious. Now it's just natural for you to point out things all day long. Like, even your energy gets to be reciprocated. You get to give out your gratitude to other people. So like, for example, I went to get a smoothie the other day and I was at the smoothie place and the girls in there are so nice. And she was like, she was cashing me out or whatever. And I was like, I love your nails. Those are so cute. And she's like, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like, thank you so much. Like, that was so nice of you to say. And I'm like, you're welcome. And then you walk out and you're like, look, I just complimented someone. I feel so good. Like, it opens your mind to this new way of being and thinking. And so now, for example, this happens in waves too. So you'll start to be able to come up with really specific things. Then it's going to become natural for you to point out things in your life that you're grateful for all the time. So now you're doing gratitude all day, really. Then you really get to see how much you've changed when a big situation happens, right? So I don't want to use a classic example that your car breaks down. Let's say you order out. You go to pick up the food, everything's there, you get home, and you realize they forgot your side of bread or your salad, right? And you're kind of thinking, your normal response would be, oh my God, are you serious? They forgot my salad. Oh, I gotta call them. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they forgot. This is so ridiculous, And now you, with this new filter, you now open the bag, you see they missed your salad. Everyone around you is like, do you want me to call? Like, I'm so sorry. You're not going to have anything to eat. Like, are you sure? And you're going to be like, yeah, it's no big deal. People make mistakes. At least I have my entree. See? That is a fucking change. That is a change right there. Yes, they forgot my salad, but at least I have my entree, right? So now anytime anything bad happens, it's like, oh, I can't buy that, but I can buy that, right? So it's like, now like all these new things can stem off from this new mindset, new solutions, new ways of responding, right? Like now in that situation of the food, you're not like stressed out, upset. Now everyone else is eating their meals and they're guilty sitting around you and you're stressed and you're annoyed. And the dinner's now like has a weird vibe around it because your food, you know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm chilling. I'm fine. It's no big deal. Right? And now you're not stressing yourself out. Now you're not releasing all those stress hormones and sitting in that energy either. And it's all because you just decided to one day start gratitude practice. Okay? So I'm going to give you, again, before we end this episode, I'm going to give you the 2 ways that I love to practice gratitude. And if you follow me on TikTok or my Instagram page, which are in the show notes of this episode, I share other ways to practice gratitude as well. So there's so many different ways you can practice it, but it's essentially you being grateful for anything that happens, anything you have, any feelings you get to experience, anything anyone said to you, whatever. And so the main way that I have my clients practice gratitude is have them write down 3 things they're grateful for. So I am grateful for blank. Okay, super easy, super simple. The other way that you could practice gratitude, if you don't want to write anything down or you don't really like that example, is saying thank you out loud to things or people, right? And it's not just like someone makes your coffee at Starbucks and you're like, thanks. It's not like that. It's, I'm thankful for my dog, right? If she's snuggling me and like I'm just laying with her and she's super cute and like she's licking me and we're just like together snuggling and we're besties, I will be like, thank you, Coda. Thank you for your love, right? My dog doesn't speak English, but I'm giving that energy. It's all energy and it's all your words, okay? So by me saying to my dog, thank you, Coda. Thanks for your love, right? Or I was on my walk with my dog a couple days ago in the cemetery. I just said out loud, like, thank you for this sun. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. Like no one was around. You could say it in your own head. You don't have to say it out loud, but say it like with feeling behind it. Find something where you're like, oh my gosh, if I didn't have this, I would be so upset. Like, I thank you so much, Or when my boyfriend comes home and I'm busy working or recording this podcast and he's making me dinner and I come out and I put my phone down, I look at him dead in the face and I say, thank you for making me dinner tonight. I know I was working late. I really appreciate you, right? That's way more powerful than sitting down, not even looking at him at all and being like, thanks, babe, right? Make your partner feel like you freaking see them by giving them that eye contact and a little bit longer of a sentence explaining how and why you are grateful for them. And I think that's such a thing that lacks in so many relationships today is you could be so happy with that person, but one thing that has actually changed my relationship with my boyfriend of 6 years is just acknowledging each other. So, I release a podcast episode or I tell my boyfriend like a new milestone we hit in our business and he's like, awesome, babe. Like, I know you've been working your ass off. I'm so freaking proud of you, right? That's way more fulfilling for me to hear than, oh, that's cool. My boyfriend he insists to do like the garbage and my dog's like poop garbage and, all the manly stuff. He's so sweet. He's like, my job is the garbage. Like, you are not supposed to be touching the garbage, which how lucky am I? But even when I see him doing those manly-ish tasks, the tasks that he's claimed for himself that I'm not supposed to touch, I still I don't take him for granted for doing those things. Am I capable of doing everything in the home? Of course. But the fact that he actually chooses to not have me do X, Y, and Z because they're for him and he doesn't want to see me taking out stinky ass trash. Like, when I see him doing that, or even if I didn't see him do it and I come home and I see all the trash is gone and all the recyclings are gone, I'll literally say, hey, babe, I noticed that you took out the trash. Thank you so much for doing that. I love you. And one thing that I've noticed is he freaking loves that. And all I have to do is say it and I can make this man's day. Like, I think that's really all we all need is just someone to see and hear us. And I was just talking to my best friend about this today. And I was like, I think we all need to bring it back to the basics in our relationships and just freaking acknowledge the person, acknowledge their feelings, acknowledge how they feel, acknowledge what they say, let them know that we hear them and we see them. Let them know that we're always there for them and we'll support them through anything they go through, And I think that makes a world's difference. So, you can, just to recap, by practicing gratitude, you literally are changing the way that your brain functions. You're changing that reticular activating system to show you what you want to see. By practicing gratitude, eventually you won't need to actually practice gratitude. It'll become an innate thing that your subconscious mind does. And 2 ways that you can practice gratitude are by writing down 3 things every day that you're grateful for. You can do it in the morning or at night. And another way you can do it is by saying in your mind or out loud what you're grateful for. So you hit all green lights. You say in your car because you're alone, oh my gosh, thank you, I'm late. Thank you so much for all these green lights, right? You're snuggling your pet. Thank you, Coda. I love you, right? Or you're walking outside and the breeze feels so good on your skin and you're like, thank you for this oxygen, right? Start freaking small. Start small and watch where you land in probably, I want to say 8 to 10 weeks. Come back to this episode, DM me on Instagram and say, Arianna, I've been practicing gratitude for 8 to 10 weeks and look at the difference. Tell me what the difference is. Tell me how different you feel and how things are different in your life, in the way that you make decisions and the way that you are out and about and you start to have these thoughts of, oh my gosh, I'm seeing things now that I normally don't see. And it's all because of the work that you've done on yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Come back again next Friday for another one. I'm so excited. I love this podcast so much. Thank you guys so much for being here and I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Integrated Self Podcast. New episodes come out every Friday, and if you're interested in coaching or mentorship with me, you can visit me on TikTok at Universal Health or Instagram at Universal Health and Wellness. All of my social medias will be in the show notes if you want to contact me. I'd love it if you came over to my page. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.